Africa icon, photography and cat loft, deduce photography, credo, morella design. So it seems Ira is having some technical challenges, and so I'm going to bring up the next speaker, Elvis Kwabena Asari in Chroma, data scientist at Jita Solutions. He is going to share with us on the topic of from curiosity to clarity, demystifying data for everyday impact. Demystifying data for everyday impact. Yeah, warmly, what are you doing?
Hello, Aquile, please, can I be heard?
Yes, you can be heard. How are you doing tonight?
I am excellent. What about
Okay,
you?
I'm good. What are you going to talk to us about? Just a brief before you put up your presentation slides.
All right, so today I'm going to talk about from curiosity to clarity and demystifying data for everyday impact. And it's just a brief talk on how even non-technical people and we technical people can make good use of data to drive insights from our normal daily lives. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe you can present your slides now. We can see it. So I leave the floor to you.
All right, please, can I begin now?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can begin.
All right. So good evening, everyone. Brief introduction. I am Elvis Kwabena in Chroma, a data scientist with Green Energy Transitions Africa. And then last year, or my previous final year, I was the co-organizer for the Good Developer Group on campus University of Ghana. Today, I'm coming to talk about a topic in data, how we can derive insights from the normal data we use. And before I give my talk, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to the DevFest team and for giving me this opportunity to have this talk. I must say, I am very, very grateful. So today I come to talk about data. To begin this, there's a question I want us to think and reflect on. How many of us made decisions using data this week? And to talk about this, let's consider the simplest things we do. You take your phone, you want to check the weather before you step out. What is the weather going to look like today? These simple questions. Today, what do I have to do? You go on the net, you want to find out a particular information. These are daily decisions in our lives in which we use data to inform everything we do. In our present age and time, data is the new gold. And it has been said all and all the time, and people are hearing it. But really, to talk about data, there are two things we have to look at: data analysis and data analytics. And oftentimes, people conflict both of them or interchange them. For example, in looking at analysis, we combine statistical techniques to find out what happened to our data and then produce reports describing the situation or making people understand a brief intro of what the data speaks about. But when we go to data analytics, we are looking at from collecting the data, or after doing the analysis, what is the next step? How do we use it to drive business decisions? How do we use it to make impact? How do we use it to inform decisions in organization? And this is what analytics aim to achieve. We ask ourselves, how can we forecast next month's sales? And this is what the area of data analytics aims to talk about. And so in analysis forms a subset of analytics, because in analytics, you aim to get an overview of the data before now, what's next? Or how do we make next decisions? Or how do we derive insights for decision making? This is what the analytics aims to cover. Now, why data for everyday impact? Because everyone, sometimes we are not conscious of the data we are using, but almost 1 petabyte of data is being produced every day. For the text message you send to someone, with that YouTube video you are watching, data is being generated almost every second in our world today. And so businesses, governments, and students can make daily choices with data. Now, in making these daily choices, there are 2 points. We can look at it as you deciding to make good use of data with clarity or without clarity. And so if we say without clarity, that means that the data you're having already, there's bias, there's misinterpretation, and then there's confusion. But we making data-driven decisions which informs us or which brings clarity, it means that after everything we do with the data, is we are driving actionable insights, we're able to build better outcomes, and then it's supposed to be building or boosting efficiency in our companies or institutions. Now, most of our speakers today have spoken about AI. And from my data science or analytics view, you must stress that in this present age and time, AI is changing the way we do our analysis or the way we go about our data science projects. For example, anybody without a non-tech background can create a Google form, right? The responses can come in a Google sheet. Now, some people might not necessarily have a technical background to analyze this data, but from Google Sheets AI, they're able to get formula suggestions, smart fill, and then even they're able to build charts on their own by this AI. And so they're able to build charts, look at the overall details of the data, and then this AI is helping or revolutionize the way we see analysis in this age. In this age, when building data science projects, by the help of Google Colab Data Science Agent, AI Assistant is an AI assistant for cleaning and exploring data. And this AI assistant has made the way we go about the data science projects very, very different. AI is changing the game in analysis, and then it's helping us make more decisions or making decision making very, very easy. Not to talk about ChatGPT. Today, almost more and more people are using ChatGPT for the analysis because with the new improved models, it makes data cleaning, structuring, and even gathering insights very, very easy. Now, taking an example like Google Sheets, has made validating and cleaning data very, very simple. Today, somebody can just automate some responses or data from a Google Sheet and then ensure that a particular column or a particular response is providing data the respondent has to give. So if you are creating a form and then we want people to specify age in terms of age ranges and then not simple digits with data validation, we can ensure that we are getting the exact form of data. And then this process is timely because with Google Sheets, you can do this all along, and then it can be synchronized all for you. Now, there are also inbuilt validation checks, and this makes data validation and cleaning data helps us tell a story. By data storytelling, data is what you come out with. So it's garbage in, garbage out. If your data is not good, if there is forms of the bias, you don't expect your insights to be fair. You don't expect your insights to reveal the truth about your data. And so in ensuring that there's good insights, there's clean data, there's better insights for people to make business decisions and even us as individuals, these validation and cleaning techniques help us a lot in this present age and era. Now, similarly, in the age or in the era of data visualization, time ago, people used to use specific softwares for only data validation. And this time of AI, it is really simplifying the need for data and visualization. For example, with some AIs like Julius AI, you're able to build charts and dashboards just after uploading your data set and then telling the AI a brief history about the data and then what you want to get. For example, if you are building your charts, you can give it an idea of the chart you want to build, and then it can even suggest whether it is possible to build their charts, and then it gives you more insight based on that chart. Now, in storytelling or in data storytelling, context. So, what's the history behind your data? What is the story behind your data? And then the narrative. So, what's the history behind the data? What's the data telling us? And then the visuals. So, you showing your bar charts and then your scatter plots. It's not only the thing, but you showing us, you giving us a story behind the data. It's all what data storytelling helps us with. So, for example, in sales data, after your analysis, after the charts, after using the AIs to do the dashboards for doing the heat maps, how are we being or how are we able to inform individuals about the insights we have gotten? How do we make impact in our data? How do we make better decisions with our data? And then this is what in the present time AI is helping us to do. And so in looking at this, we are able to turn numbers into stories. We are able to give people a narrative of our data, how the data is looking like, and then how to, more importantly, drive business decisions with our data. Should we bring on board something? Should we approve this marketing technique? All these things are decisions being made based on data collected, and then it's helping industries and companies make better and better insights. Now, real stories and real impacts. For example, for students realizing that they've made 7 mistakes, they are able to redesign questionnaires. So sometimes you can even automate your Google Forms in a sense that you set boundaries so that you receive a particular form of data you want. Is it a short form question? Is it a paragraph question? Do you want a date type? All these things are made very simple. And then in those in the business, not even to talk about the large companies, but as smaller businesses, how do they track customer behavior? How do they track customer engagement? This all this is being the fact that data can be used and is being used for impact. And then in companies like this, it's helping them discover insights, which is helping them improve and boost their productivity. Now, similarly, in this age of AI, I want to mention some few latest trends. So, in this year, we have seen AI dashboards which help create beautiful visuals, and then their natural language querying and techniques. So, for example, in Tableau, the the helper can help you ask them more questions for your data. When you select particular columns, you know whether you can add or you can build some charts with those particular columns you have. Similarly, too for Google Sheets. Now, when you want to build charts, you don't even necessarily have to ask yourself, is this buildable or will this thing come out right? You can just see, or the AI can just suggest whether for those particular columns you can get some particular charts, and then it makes it very, very easy. With simple prompts, you can just get your visuals just in a matter of seconds. And also data the so we are democratizing data. So it means that now anybody can do analytics. Gone are the time that people who take data science course and then professional certifications are the only people in data. Now we have people in healthcare, people in education who are being onboarded or taking some type of basic training so that they are able to apply the data science knowledge in their particular domain. And so it has brought a rise of people we call citizen analysts who didn't normally pass the traditional type of training and you think data people will pass through, but in their domain, they learn data in addition, and then they are being able to improve decisions in that area. Now in Ghana, there are opportunities across different sectors. It's just four I have shortlisted to help my presentation, but there are opportunities everywhere. And agriculture data is being used for cocoa yield prediction. And then in the future, you can have even more projects like improving pest management. You can go to finance and in health and in transport. And all these, sometimes these opportunities don't come like the way we expect. Sometimes they come in competitions like hackathons, where you are given a particular problem to solve, and then with the aim or with your data knowledge, when you partake in these competitions, it gives you the industry exposure, and then you are able to learn how data is making real impact in diverse sectors. Now, in talking about the good sides, we have to acknowledge the fact that there are some challenges even in these present times of AI. The fact that still there can be problem with data quality and then validation, because ensuring accuracy and completeness of information, it varies in local context. That means in different domains, sometimes what you want from your data is not what you necessarily get because there's still a gap, right? Which we can still bridge in a matter of time. Also, in area of access and then literacy, people, we have to educate people so that they are able to understand the main concept of data. content you are giving them? Is it in your survey? Is it in your Google form? Are we able to create AI so that they collect data in our local dialects, and then this data is able to help us make business decisions, some hindering the pace at which AI is going in the area of data. Also, how do we balance tradition? So integrating data-driven insights with established, in quotes, community traditions. They are used to collecting data with, let's say, a notebook. So when they are registering people, they are used to taking a pen and paper to write names of people. Now you are telling them to use a Google form. Why should they go in for that? People are not willing to, in some cases, people are not willing to accept change. How do you convince them on this? And also, local innovation is still there are still challenges which present unique opportunities for localized innovation and then problem solving tailored to Ghanaian opportunities. Despite this, we still need to empower Ghanaian communities with data. And so local NGOs in the past or quite recent times have been using data to improve water access in northern Ghana. And students have worked on several projects, and some of them even in their undergraduate thesis, they have worked on projects which in them they were analyzing air quality data in Accra for community projects and farmers, and even some current startups in Ghana are improving the agricultural sector because they are implementing simple analytics for better harvest planning or solving problems in the agriculture sector. In bridging tech and tradition in Ghana, there's a conversation we need to have. And then the conversation is, how do we blend data insights with local knowledge? So in using data for, let's say, traditional festivals, how are they able to improve marketing? How do they collect data of people who have come to the festival so that in every year they're able to improve the attendance of people in their local festivals? How do people apply analytics in traditional crafts? When tech meets culture in Ghana, how do we improve our digital creativity spaces? This is conversation we need to have. And then in this age of AI, there's an opportunity for us, but there are still challenges we are facing. In the long run, we can make everyday impact from data with not necessarily having a data background, but you can begin by taking on something. You can start with curiosity and then end with clarity. Use AI tools to simplify, not complicate. Validate before analyzing. Tell stories and not numbers. And so finally, advise that when you want to begin in this journey, when you want to make that everyday impact in your domain, it can be in healthcare, education, anywhere. Start with a simple data set, explore it. Use an AI assistant like the one in Google Sheets or even Colab for your next project, and then let's see the impact you can make from your data. Thank you very much, and my talk the talk was by me once again, Elvis Kabnasa and Kroma. And you can follow me on LinkedIn in the same name. And then thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Elvis. Wow. Thank you very much for sharing these insights. I saw one person's comment that's how excited I get when someone in the data science space talks about it. Yes. So you have really broken it down into very bite-sizable insights. And I believe everyone in the comments today, I think our most active participants are Deborah, Honey, and I think okay, Jacob as well. But Deborah, thank you very much for showing up and for always commenting, and I'm sure you get a prize, a token from us at the in-person DevFest Accra. So look for Shadrach. Okay. So at this juncture, if you have any questions, you can ask Elvis. He is still on the session. If you have any questions, kindly ask him. Okay. All right. We would just say a very big thank you to you for making this session very insightful,